Right, well, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back to Clot. For the start of this week's video, I'm going to crack on outside because I think it's time to get stuck into some of the fruit beds. What I will be tackling this next couple of weeks is to make sure I've got all my fruit beds ready. I've done the grapevines in the last video. Took them right back, so they're fine. All I need now is a little bit of water. I've had a little bit of feed round them, a bit of sulphate of potash, and a good bucket full of fresh horse manure just to lay on the top. And we're exactly the same with the raspberries. If you remember, we shifted these last year. We shifted the canes from the front to the back here, and I'm over the moon with these because these are only the second years, and I shifted them last year. These are the canes I've got done this year. And of course, all I need to do now is to go along them and just make sure I get a good bucket of manure, spread it on the bed and just work it in so it's nice and loose. There's no problem there. A bit of manure on the top, and then I give a sprinkling of sulphate of potash right along the bed, and that's the early spring feed. Now these canes are exactly the same as the grapevine canes. In the next few weeks the sap's going to start rising on them, and you're going to start by February, early March, you're going to see the small buds appearing on the fruit buds where all the bits and pieces I'm going to pull off today. But as I say, if you've got the foot down below, it's a great idea just to get the secateurs out and go along. Anything that's on the top there, any dead dying wood. Now that one hasn't been clipped yet, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip that one. Nice top wood there. And just pull all the rubbish away. There's lots of bits of branch that's still on there. That one hasn't been cut there. So I'll cut that one, nice top wood there. Chop that one off. There's another one here, hasn't been clipped. Top wood again. You can see the buds, you don't have to look far. Nice buds on the top there. And just work your way through them, taking all these old stems off. Such a easy job to do. And of course, I've only been on there 5 minutes and already nice and clean. So they're all tied in. I've got screws right along this first bit of benching here. And what I like to do is make sure that all tied into there and tied into the top, so they're nice and strong. And of course, over the last couple of weeks we've had some terrific winds and that up here in the northeast. We've had a couple of storms, but they've stuck nice and tight, so I'm pleased with them. As I say, just go along checking any bits and pieces. I don't bother spraying these. Sometimes I've been known to go along and give them a little spray of jazz fluid, but they're looking pretty clean this year. There's no sign of disease, no sign of any damage to them. If there is any damage, any breaks, just cut away the affected areas, and no doubt we'll look forward to some first class crops on these. Really nice. And what I did in this bed and the next bed, if you have to go back a few videos into last summer, because these were pretty new, and what they did, they threw out a load of side shoots. You know, the side shoots come about 3-4 foot from the actual bed, and I just let them grow. I let them grow on. I put a couple of stakes in them, and I got a couple of lovely canes off them. And what I've done, I've potted them canes up into a bucket over there. I've got 3 lovely canes there. Now I'm going to take them down home. I'm going to replant them down home and start a new raspberry bed down home, or in my daughter's back garden. But never see anything go to waste. Well, that's the first bed done, and as I say, all it needs now is there's still a few bits and pieces on there that I've missed. All that needs now is a bit of potash on, a sulphate of potash, and it's good to go. Now what I will be doing over the next couple of weeks is going right around them. I've got the pear tree over there, I've got the plum tree at the top of the garden, and I've got umpteen apple trees that I planted last year. When I go and have a look at them, make sure they're nice and clean. Any dead wood that needs cutting off them, cut off them. There's an apple tree right at the top of the garden. It's only 2-year-old, but I got a bit of scab on that last year, so what I'm going to do with that one, I'm going to cut it right back. Some of the side branches that had a bit of scab on them, try and open the bush up a bit, take some of the inside branches away so it's nice and open, and give that one a spray chase fluid. And hopefully I'll get a good crop of that this year. There were some nice apples on it, but they're just they've got a bit of scab from them, and a few of the leaves started going a bit brown and that, so I'm going to make sure that's nice and clean before that comes into growth, which will not be long. Of course, the temperatures are well up in the northeast. The last 3 days have been beautiful. Yesterday the sun was shining. I think temperatures overall have been around about 10, 11 outside here. So you create that inside and you're having 50s, 60s degrees in a cold polytunnel and cold greenhouses. Absolutely amazing. But don't let it fool you, by all means. Take a look at the weather they're having in Spain. Snow, gale force winds. It just goes to show you, you know, if you're just there be a bit patient. And I've been noticing on the Facebook page, lots of people want to know when to plant. But you know, just look on the back in your seed packet, and it's great advice on there. Any seed packet, it gives you the advice when to sow or when you can sow. If you've got the equipment, by all means sow. But if you haven't, we've got loads. We've got a 100-foot greenhouse and 2 40-foot polytunnels. So when we bring stuff up, we've got plenty of places to harden it off underneath it in the tunnels. But if you small greenhouse at home and you bring stuff up, you're going to need space to put it as it gets bigger outside. And if you haven't got any cold frames, or you know, you're going to lose your plants. So just on the side of caution. Wait until the weather warms up. But I don't start my main sowing until around about March time. That's all my brassicas and a lot of bit plants. But what I am going to start up today, once I get these finished, I'm going to do this bed here, and then I've got 2 beds to do tomorrow morning. I'll get them beds done. The top one hasn't been touched at all yet, so I need to tie all them wood, cut them back, and hopefully that'll be all set ready for the spring. So that's a definite. But I need 1, 2, 3, 4 beds for manuring. I'll get the manure from the stables, get them covered, and then, as I say, a little bit of sulphate of potash. And if they do need a spraying, I can just go up with a bit of soapy water and a bit of J's fluid, and that'll keep them nice and clean for when they come in spring. As I say, the sap's going to start rising in them soon, around about February time, early March. And if the field's there, spot on, the roots are going to start taking it straight up, and you'll get a first-class crop. But I'll take you all through the year on looking at their raspberry beds. For the time being, we're going to get myself inside and get some leeks sown. Okay? Right, well, that's a lot better, that. I've even managed to take my body warmer off. 50. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but this is what me and Roger done yesterday morning. This is the first part of the greenhouse I like to use for a lot of my seedlings. It's sectioned off there from the 100-foot greenhouse. It's next to the shed, and hopefully next year I've got a small stove in there. And what I'm planning to do is to connect the stove up to a header tank, put some copper piping around the flue, and lead the copper piping into here with a couple of decent sized radiators, and hopefully get a little bit of heat from there. It'll only be for when me and Roger's up cold winter mornings. We'll put the fire on, put a bit extra heat on. It's just for when we're sitting having a cup of tea, nice and comfortable. But no, this is fantastic today. As I say, cold greenhouse, 50 degrees. It's absolutely fantastic. So if you want to start sowing now, then the only thing I'm going to be starting soon, as I say, is on my Facebook page. There's a lot of people want to know when to start sowing our brassicas. Well, brassicas, to me, they grow that fast, and you're going to have really big plants if you're starting to sow now. So you're going to need at least a cold frame outside, because your plants will get big, and then once they're ready to plant out, you're talking about March, end of March, April. Up here in the northeast, we're going to have 2 foot of snow up here. We never plant out until the end of April, beginning of May, and that's if the weather's fine. and that's all our brassicas. And that it goes for a lot of other stuff, leeks, and everything else in the greenhouses. Tomatoes and that are withheld until at least middle to the end of May before we plant out in our beds. Leeks, anything like that, cucumbers, they can wait until June. A lot of our bedding can wait until June because we do suffer a lot of frost early on. But for sowing wise, if you want to start sowing some leeks, fine. Once again, my old favourite, Musselburgh. I grow them every year. I do like it to grow a couple of packets of different ones every now and again, but that's by the by. Now my mix I use is my own mix. Reason being because I like to sow in nice deep pots. Now the leeks I'll be growing, I haven't got any pots handy. I use, well, you know the ones I use, the rose pots, the deep rose pots. I'm only growing these for family and friends. Mine will go into the later pots. I'll show you in a later vid. And they take a lot of compost up, but the reason being I've sown the nice deep pots is because they're not going to be planted out until May. So you only come to the end of January now, you've got February, March and April, you've got 3 months they're going to be sitting in these pots. And that's why I like to use my own compost. And of course my own compost is 2 parts multi-purpose. 1 part of my own sieved homemade compost. I use 2 parts sharp sand in it. And I can also add a bit of perlite, which I do to the top mix, if you can see by that mixture there. But it's such an easy job to do. I like to get my pots filled up. The compost, it's nice and warm. It's not cold because it's been made up in the greenhouses and it's kept under cover. So it's nice and warm. Once again, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, just below the pot of the rim pot. And then what I like to do with these is give them a really good soaking. Once again, fresh water. Fresh water out the tap, always in our barrels. We emptied our barrel out last week and we filled that back up. That beautiful clean water in there, nice and fresh. What you don't want to do is to use water that's been stagnating over the winter because it's absolutely full of pathogens, full of moulds, and you're going to be spreading it all over your compost. Now, the reason I use it is to say I use my own compost is because they're going to need feeding. Now that'll keep them well fed right up until May. And what they'll be about 1 foot high. If you remember last year when I showed them, they'll be at least 1 foot high and they'll be pencil thick and they'll be perfect for planting out. So once you get your pots filled up, shift them seed out the way, and now you can give them a really good soaking. Well, they'll not want any more water. Just let that soak through. There's plenty of sharp sand in there, so it's a good free draining mixture, and already it's dripping out the bottom there now, so that's beautiful that. They're ready. Your seed packet. Once again, as I explained, go to the back of the packet. Gives you all the information you need on there. Seed count, always important. And there we go, on the bottom, 300 seed. So that gives you an idea of what seed you've got in there. So that's perfect for me. I've got 6 full pots here. Divide that 300, 50 per pot, which is spot on. I'll open this up. I'll keep the seed packet because what I like to do is to shove. You've seen what I do. I shove a marker through there, through the bottom. It's easy enough to do. Put a little tin in the bottom of the pot, in the bottom of the bag. Shove your marker in. Should go through easy enough. Pull your marker through, and there you gotta fold that over, and there you got a perfect marker for your plants. I'll just stop in there. Leek Musselburgh. Okay, so I've got the packet of seed. I'll show you how to do it in my last video. Easy enough to do. If you want to tip it out on a small cardboard tray or a small lid that you've got, perfect. I've been doing this so long now that I tend to get a feel for the seeds now and know exactly what's going in each pot. The hardest part for me is getting them open. Big hands, little packets don't go together. And they do take some opening, and of course these are foil packed to keep the freshness in. And this doesn't want to open at all. There we are. Right, okay, so there we are. We've got approximately 300 seed there in the palm of the hand. Fantastic. Now all I have to do is take a pinch, a good pinch, of each pot, and just broadcast them right over the top. Good pinch. Broadcasted. Second one, good pinch. Broadcasted. Good pinch. Number 4, good pinch. And look at that. Down to the last one. Oh, that's spot on for me. Another good pinch. There's very few left in here. Couple dozen at the most, so. There we have it. Now it's a full tray of musselburgh. As I say, these are for family and friends. Make bigger pots down home. I've got another pack of seed down home. I'll be sowing them tonight or in the bottom greenhouse. But this is just to get you started today. And of course the topping. Don't forget your topping. You've got it. Once you've watered it, the compost is sunk down now, so you've got an inch from the top to your seed bed there. All you have to do now is just take a handful on there. Just a handful on each pot. Easy enough to do. You will have weeds if you're going to follow me in this compost. You will have weeds growing up amongst it, but believe you me, when you see your leeks and your onions, they look exactly the same. So you'll have no doubt in distinguishing your leek seed from your weed seed. You'll get weeds coming up, but I don't mind that. The only time I don't use it, as I've explained, is when I'm planting the likes of lobelia, really small seed, really tiny, and they're like a nice clean compost for that, which is why I just use a multi-purpose compost in sharp sand, so I'm going to get no weeds growing through that. What I have done, I've sent away last week for some begonias. You can sow them now if you've got lighting and heating. They're a really fiddly plant. So what I've done, I've sent away for some cascading ones and some tuberous ones. Now the tuberous ones I'll be able to keep every year. And what I'll be doing, I'll be taking cuttings from the tuberous ones, and the other ones, well, you just dig them up and throw them away in the compost heap. But the tuberous ones, I've paid out quite a bit for them. I think I paid £20 for about 30 tubers, which is not bad. This pretty cheap, works out 60–70 pence a tuber. I'm getting a good collection, a good selection, so I'm pleased with that. I was sent away to parks for these. I used parks quite a lot for different flowers, fuchsias, stuff like that. I've ordered some more fuchsias. I've got about 5 different varieties there. I've ordered some nice new ones, so what I'll be doing at the end of this year, I'll be cutting some more of them fuchsias. It's an easy job to do, and you can overwinter them. So I'll be overwintering petunias, fuchsias and begonias, and I'll be starting all them off early spring for next year. Once I've got the plants, easy enough job to do. And of course what come through the post this morning was another freebie from Pox, and here's a 8 lavender Munstead. So that's a job I'm going to do this afternoon, just in a bit of homemade compost and pot them up in a nice 6 or 7 centimetre pot. And they'll be fantastic for going in my garden. Nice smell of lavender. As you pass, you brush against it, beautiful. Raised beds, they can go in there, raised beds, so you're working against them all, going past it, and the smell is just beautiful. So yeah, over the moon with them. So that's me pot leeks done. As I say, all I did was level out the top, so that's still a ½ inch below there. So that's a full packet. Just pick up the rubbish of leek musselburgh, over the moon with that. What I did do last week, I mentioned in the last video, I had potfuls of gladioli still in the big tunnel there, so I've taken them out, and I'm lucky enough that when I pulled the pots in before Christmas, before I went to the hospital, and they've just stood there, so I've took all the pots out and I've gotten some fantastic bulbs out of them, combs I should say, some lovely combs. I've been right through them, and of course I'll be planting some of them pretty soon to get a nice early flower. I'll take you in there and I'll give you a little look, because the melon house, we're getting all the melon house done, we'll put the new roof on there. And of course I've got my chrysanthemums in there, which I'll be taking cuttings from next week, which will be the next video. And of course we want to go into the bottom tunnel and get started on the strawberries. So we'll be doing the strawberry baskets next week, and we'll be doing some chrysanthemum cuttings. But for the time being, I'll pop in there and I'll give you a look at how the cuttings are coming on. Okay. Right, well, completely different in here. 54. It was 52 in the big tunnel, in the big greenhouse, and it's 54 in here. Fantastic. Of course, we'll put a new roof on. Bubble wrap that, and over the moon that. Managed to get that done, that's one of the jobs. I'll give it all a good clean out. So I'm over the moon with that. What I have got underneath here, it's a job I've got to do this week, is to get the dahlias out. I did save 4 tubers from last year. 4 of the good tubers. I was over the moon with them. And of course there they are there. I'll pull them out of the peat. Now what I will do, I'll definitely do this year, because there's a lot of people that will not use dahlias, or they'll not store them because there's not much room for them. Because actually they can be monsters, some of the tubers that come out. But what I'll do is I'll take cuttings from these this year, and I'll show you how to make a pot tuber. So you can just have a nice tuber in a pot like that, which will be a lot easier to grow. By the way, these are the plants I saved from the Christmas baskets. I brought them up here. Absolutely beautiful. Flowering away there, just nice. As I say, I never throw anything out if I can get some use out of it. And well chuffed with. So I've got 4 dahlias in here, and I'll get these out. Give them a good spraying, good cleaning down, and hopefully we'll get some nice cuttings off there. I'll set them on the box, set them on a tray next week. I think I'll put a little bit of paraffin, a little bit of heat on in here, just to get them going. I've got the grapevines in the far end. Now here I've got the stools, and there they are there. Absolutely first class. Hold them over there. They've had a good cleaning down. They just want a bit weeding out. Well, they've just been grown over winter in the cold polytunnel, and there's 6, 7, 8 first class cuttings on there. Right, I'm going to leave them till next week. What I'm going to do this week, I'm going to give them a good spraying. I'm going to bring some chamomile tea up, bit of soapy water, give them a good spray with that, and then we'll get cracking next week. There's some lovely cuttings on them. I've saved the best ones. There's 2 or 3 that had snapped outside, and of course I hadn't paid much attention in being in the garden last year. As I say, I had far too much other stuff to take care of. But once again, that one there, that one's Doric crystal. It's a lovely white one, and there's a good 6 cuttings on there, spot on. So I'll get cracking in next weekend. What I will be doing in here, it's my top shelf. The cuttings will go on here. What I will be doing, I'll bring a tray in. Just similar to that, be a tray without any holes in, and a plastic lid, and that's all they'll get. So they'll get rooted off in a multi-purpose compost and sharp sand, really sharp. The cuttings will just be dipped in a little bit of honey or a bit of rooting powder, and put into there, and then we'll put the tops on them, and they'll just be left. No heat, no bottom heat, anything. We might have a little paraffin heater going in there. In fact, I might bring the leeks into here. The pot leeks I've just sown, I'll bring them in here and put them up on the top shelf, and they'll be fine. And as I say, a little bit of paraffin heat just to keep it frost-free in the evening. My temperatures will never rise above 55, 60. Maybe it's when the sun gets out, we'll get this door wide open. That's just behind the camera there. The door's left wide open. I've got plenty of windows we can open up here into the polytunnel. So it lets excess heat out from here and at the polytunnel, and it's a win-win situation for me and Roger as far as we're concerned. But yeah, more than that, as I say, I'm getting a bit stronger. I'm getting little jobs done every day as I get up. We've still got a lot of tidying up to do. We've got a lot more building to be done. I want to get that shed started again next week if the weather warms up. Get that shed finished off now and get all the timber and the bits and pieces that's lying around the garden, get it all cleaned up and start and get back on track. I've got all the taters planted in the tunnel, so you know, job's done. Another 2 or 3 weeks and I'll be starting to sow down home. There's a few seedlings I want to get in. I've started sowing my lobelia. I want petunias. I'll be sowing petunias next month, or the end of this month. And they're another difficult plant to grow if you're not careful with them. Just as I say, they'll just be sprinkled in rows on top of multi-purpose compost. But I'll show you all that in the coming videos. There's a few bits and pieces I'm going to sow. I might try and get the parsnips in next month. They'll go in February. and of course it's just keeping the outside tidied up. I've got 3 onion beds now to just to lightly hoe out, lightly weed out. I've got the outside spring cabbage to hoe out, we'll get that done, and I've got some nitro chalk, just a little bit of nitro chalk to sprinkle around them, which will give them a boost in the summer. And of course I'll give the cabbages in the bottom polytunnel a boost with the nitro chalk, and that'll keep them going. Or I can go back into the barrel and see if there's any nettle juice water left and give them a good drink of that. Just as good, plenty of nitrogen, and it just feeds them. There should be enough feed in the soil because we put loads in last year. So I'm just hoping it's going to keep them cabbages growing well. Right, so that's another job out of the way anyway. Like I say, I'm well pleased. I've got trays of seedlings popping up again. I did manage to get the pansies potted up that had been sitting in my back greenhouse for about 2 months now. As I say, when I went into the hospital I never managed to get these done, but I just done them last week. Oh, they're fine, they're sitting at the top there. And then once they're a decent size, I can put them up into 6-7 metre pots, and some nice summer pansies. But yeah, that's great for the time being. Once again, I'm over the moon. We've got quite a few subscribers again last week, so I'm well pleased with that. I hope you're enjoying the plot. If you have got any queries, just comment down below on our YouTube channel, or get on our Facebook page, which of course is Jeff Foreman on the plot. I've got we're coming up to nearly 1,000 subscribers now, so I'm over the moon with that, and I'm just glad there's so many people interested in it. If we're helping you on the plot, well, great stuff, and that's what it's all about, sharing. We will be doing regular videos now, as I say, as the weather warms up and the work starts to gather a bit pace. I know it's been pretty quiet the last couple of weeks, but there's still lots of jobs you can be doing outside. So just crack on, get as much as you can done, tidying up, and then when the hard work does start next month, when you're sowing, you're potting off, loads of work to do inside, and you kind of get yourself outside. That's the best way to do it. Just plan ahead, well planned. But I'm going to knock off, and as I say, next week we'll get started on the strawberries. We'll do the strawberry baskets, and we'll have another look at the fruit trees outside. We'll crack on with them, get the fruit trees done, and of course we'll start our cuttings off. Okay. So I'm hoping we're helping you, and as I say, keep an eye out for new videos, and just enjoy yourself. Okay. We'll see you all again soon on the plot.